My definition of a social enterprise is quite simple. It's a business that has a primary social purpose at its heart, which means it takes the best of business ideals and practices, but adapts those for a social or an environmental benefit. We have some fantastic social enterprises operating in the UK. We have a bus company called HCT Group that makes a reasonable sum of money on its £50 million a year contracts, and then uses all of that money that it generates to help disadvantaged women and young men train as bus drivers, train as bus mechanics, and it also puts in additional routes into underserved communities that don't have well-served bus routes. So there's a whole variety. There's chocolate companies, there's banks, and I know that in New Zealand you've got some fantastic social enterprises run by the Maori community, for example. I think the impetus is coming from the NGO community, who want to become more enterprising. They want to have dignity, and that means perhaps sometimes generating their own money rather than simply always begging philanthropists and donors for cash. But also I think the business sector is recognising that new employees, graduates, young people want to work for businesses that have a clear social purpose and a clear social mission. So they're certainly becoming more interested in it. But I think everybody is actually getting quite excited about the growth and the opportunity that the social enterprise presents. It's often about building partnerships. It's often about finding the entrepreneur within you, and the entrepreneur exists within many people, and it's about taking the best of business and applying it for social benefit. Often we've seen great social enterprises develop out of partnerships between government or state agencies, communities and the private sector. We can see all sorts of different models emerge. I think government needs to talk about it. It has a role in creating a bit of a buzz and seeing and recognising the opportunity that social enterprise presents. I think that the business sector needs to engage in the way that it has done in the US and in the UK and in other countries, particularly in places like India. And I think that the traditional third sector needs to understand that this should complement what they're about rather than kind of replace. So this is an opportunity for them. It shouldn't be seen as a threat.